the last few weeks. There's been tremendous volume. There was a point where the price floor for these NFTs were 0.1 ETH. Literally, these were worth $150. They came back down. They were bouncing back up. They're coming back down. So there's so many great entry points for people. What's going on, guys? Ross here with the DGen project. Welcome back to another video. I've been really excited to put this video together for you guys here because I'm going to be talking about a project that I think is probably one of the most underrated NFT projects right now, and it really works itself in with the DeFi space as well, just as a part of how this whole NFT project works. So without further ado, I bring to you guys the Meta Ape Militia NFT project. So what exactly is this NFT project and how does it all work? Well, to put it simply, Meta Ape Militia is essentially an NFT project where when you hold these NFTs, you are basically a stakeholder or a shareholder, if you will, in a Bitcoin mining pool. So I'm talking about physical miners that are set up, that are running in a mining pool, and the Bitcoin rewards, the Bitcoin yields from those miners will be distributed on a yearly basis, on an annual basis, to the NFT holders. So it's like kind of a lot of things going on there, but let's dive into it. I've got the website pulled up here. Let's kind of break down this step by step. So the Meta Ape Militia project was something I kind of stumbled across back in April. I actually did a video on it. I'll kind of link it up somewhere here above. But basically what they're doing is, like I mentioned before, it's an NFT project where these NFTs are essentially minting Bitcoin. Now, obviously, the NFTs are not the ones that are minting Bitcoin, but the way it works is that the funds from the pre-sale, the funds from any transactions on the secondary markets, those revenue shares actually get reinvested into buying more physical miners that are going to be mining Bitcoin. And at the end of each year, a snapshot is taken randomly throughout the year, and the amount of Bitcoin mined will then be distributed to the holders. So the artwork is pretty cool. I like it. I mean, they're still rolling with the ape theme. I think a lot of people are doing that. But they did sell out on the minting. Now, the way their minting worked was they actually did an initial whitelist. They went public minting, but the volume just wasn't quite there as much. Unfortunately, there was a series of bad timing events. Unfortunately, there was an issue with one of the Ethereum chains that they were kind of working off of, or a network bridge or something. That was way too complicated for me to even understand, but a ton of projects were impacted by this back towards the end of April. Next, we basically had the beginning of the bear run, right? People were not as cash, friendly as they were when we were moving into the spring of this year, right? The bear market hit and a lot of people were just a lot more tight on their cash and they didn't really want to invest and buy into new projects. So it was a bit of a rocky road, but they made a very smart decision in, looking back 2020, I was like, okay, this was actually a really good decision, is they opened it up to a free mint sometime in, I think it was the beginning of June when they did a free mint, which meant that pretty much within like 6 to 8 hours, the remaining, I think it was like 7,000 NFTs were minted out within hours. So that was really cool because that basically enabled them to start moving forward with their project. The first step was to mint out the supply. Once that was achieved, then they could start moving forward with getting the miners set up so they could actually start mining Bitcoin. And so they achieved that very quickly. And now they're moving forward and they have miners operational right now. We're going to break down some numbers. They have new miners that are getting added to the pool, I believe, coming into September. And they have benchmarks that they want to hit for the volume of miners. And I'm going to break that down for you guys in this video and show you what kind of rewards we could potentially be looking at. But first, a little bit about the project, about the team. Now, the reason why this kind of came on my radar was because they're the first NFT project that I've seen that have been KYC verified by Obsidian. So if you're not familiar, Obsidian Council is basically a KYC process where they have a very stringent verification process that people have to go through. And Meta Ape Militia was one of the first projects that were actually one of their clients, and really the only NFT project that I've actually seen go through and do this. There may be more now, but at the time I was like, hey, this was really cool to see. So the project has been running really successfully. Their Discord is bumping. They have tons of announcements all the time. So I'll put the links of all this stuff down in the video description, but we're even going so far now where the founder is actually doxing himself, right? These guys are not hiding behind a computer screen. They're very open and public about what they're doing. And so far they are delivering. There are miners up and operational that are running right now. And we have some pretty cool, exciting things coming up, like the Mutant Apes that are going to be getting minted as well. So the way the Mutant Ape works is that if you hold a certain amount of these Meta Ape Militia NFTs, I believe it's 10 or more, you then qualify for a free mint of the Mutant Ape. Once all the free mints are completed, the Mutant Ape will be a $500 NFT for anyone else to mint in the future. So they're basically setting a price floor from the beginning. There's going to be a bunch of free ones minted available for people who are, OG holders of Meta Ape Militia, or if you're holding a certain volume, you will get a free mint. From there, it's $500. The snapshot for that is being taken on August 15th. So for any wallets who hold a certain amount of NFTs, the snapshot is going to be taken on August 15th, and that's going to determine who's going to be eligible for those free mints. So very cool. The artwork here on the Mutant Apes is crazy. It's absolutely insane. I really I don't know how they're doing this photorealistic NFT artwork, but it's really, really cool. I love it. I think it's going to be really fun to see these when they actually come out and we get the full minting. So secondary markets such as OpenSea, Looks Rare, X2Y2, right? Any secondary NFT marketplaces, there's a 10% buy tax on these. So there's a 10%, basically the royalty on any NFTs that are bought and sold on this platform. And so the way that works is that 10% royalty gets added into more resources to buy more miners for the collective pool. Now we're getting onto a really close benchmark here. Something really important is when we hit a volume of over 100 Ethereum traded in total volume, they get the blue chip status, right? They get that blue verified mark for the NFT project. So that's coming up really quickly. And as you can see here, the floor price right now is absolutely bonkers in my mind. I've been scooping up and just sweeping the floor constantly. But right now, you can actually pick up one of these NFTs for only $53. It's 0.029 Ethereum in order to buy one of these NFTs. Now, a very important thing that you have to also take into consideration is that in order to be eligible for the Bitcoin mining rewards, you have to hold a pair of NFTs. So you have to hold a minimum of 2 NFTs to be rewarded. And the way it works is the earnings are distributed to pairs. So you always need to maintain an even number of NFTs. So if you have 6 of them and you gift one away to a friend, only 4 out of the remaining 5 that you have are eligible for rewards. So you got to make sure you have pairs of 2s available to earn those Bitcoin rewards. I want to show you guys really quickly here some of the volume that's been happening, because you may be looking at this, you're like, well, it's under 100 volume. But the majority of this volume has been happening in the last couple months, and really in the last few weeks. There's been tremendous volume. There was a point where the price floor for these NFTs were 0.1 ETH. Literally, these were worth $150. They came back down. They were bouncing back up. They're coming back down. So there's so many great entry points for people. If you are looking at purchasing this NFT, there's a lot of great entry points right now that you can get in for a very, very affordable price point. Now, for those of you who are a little bit more aggressive, maybe you got some nice bags that you want to kind of jump in and do a nice sweep, highly recommend using gem.xyz. You can go to the collection and you can actually use the sweep tool here where you can actually sweep an entire collection. So maybe you want to you know what, I'm going to send it and I'm going to buy not 200, but I'm going to buy 20 NFTs. It'll actually pull them all in here, pull them into your cart, and then you can connect your wallet and you can actually check out. Saves a ton of money on gas fees instead of just buying them individually one at a time. You can do this and just sweep the floor for however many you'd like, or you can even price it in ETH. If you want to buy, 1 ETH worth of these NFTs, you can just sweep the floor and do it all in one transaction. So very, very cool tool to use. Great way to jump in every now and then and just sweep up that floor. Now, what I want to go through next for you guys is actually break down some earning numbers, because at the end of the day, this project is designed to earn rewards. So again, you have to hold 2 NFTs. That's a horrible, there we go. So you have to hold 2 NFTs, right? 2 NFTs to be eligible for the Bitcoin BTC. Let me try that B one more time. I need a drawing pad for this because I love doing this stuff. So for Bitcoin rewards, right? You need to hold 2 of them at least to get the Bitcoin rewards. Now, what are we currently seeing in the mining pool? Well, I'm going to pull up the mining pool, and this is a private link that's available in the members chat. So If I'm not supposed to show this, I do apologize, but I wanted to break these numbers down. Currently, we only have 4 miners operational, and this is where it comes in. What kind of benchmarks are we looking to hit with this project? Now, the team has been very straightforward on it. The founder is saying, hey, look, our goal is to get to 100 miners. From there, we want to scale it up to 400. 400 is kind of like the end goal for this project. I'm sure there's probably going to, if there's potential to bring in more miners, they're probably going to keep doing that because look, at the end of the day, the more miners there are in this pool, the more Bitcoin rewards are earned, the higher the price point is going to go. And again, with that 10% tax, it's just like a perpetual cycle that keeps funding more and more resources into this to be able to scale up the mining even further while constantly yielding Bitcoin rewards and constantly keeping that price action high and a lot of trade volume in the secondary market. So really, really great strategy here. But right now there's 4 online. There's another 4 that are coming online, I believe, in September. So let's take a look at what we're actually yielding right now. So currently we're getting 0.001 Bitcoin for 4 miners. I'm rounding down a little bit here. I'm just going, super conservative on this. It's usually like 0.0011 or 0.0015, somewhere around there, but I'm just going to do 0.001 Bitcoin. So what we're currently getting, we have 4 miners, again, only 4. And we're currently getting 0.001 Bitcoin a day. Let's see if we can get that BT a little bit better. So now what that means is I want to break this down a little bit easier, right? So we have one miner, is getting 0.00025 Bitcoin a day. Okay. So bear with me here on the math because this is where it gets kind of crazy. So this is our current rate right now, right? We have 4 miners. Each miner is netting approximately 0.00025 Bitcoin a day. But what happens if we hit that first benchmark of 100 miners, right? Well, 100 miners is going to be 0.025 Bitcoin a day. Now, what if we take that and we multiply it by the year? So I've got my handy dandy calculator here. If we have 100 miners mining and it's 0.025 Bitcoin a day, let me do that, 0.025 Bitcoin a day times 365 days of the year, that equals 9.125 Bitcoin a year. Now, we divide that by the 5,000 pairs, because remember, there's 10,000 NFTs available in supply. They're actually going to start burning some, which I'm actually looking forward to, because that just increases the amount that I'm holding in the percentage of the pool. But if they start burning some, it's going to be even less. But as it stands now, there's 10,000 NFTs, which means there's 5,000 potential eligible pairs. Again, you have to hold 2. So this is distributed by 5,000 pairs. So we have 9.125 Bitcoin. We're going to multiply it by, we're going to call it a $25,000 Bitcoin, which it's like around 23 right now. But let's just use $25,000 Bitcoin. That is going to equal $228,000 per year, divided by the 5,000 pairs that are eligible to receive the rewards. That equals $45 a pair. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, 45 bucks a pair, that's not that much. Sure, but look at the price right now for one of these apes, right? If we go to the floor, right now the floor price is around $54. That means you can get in and purchase 2 to make a pair for $110, right? One pair equals $110. And you're going to be earning $45 a year on that. Now, if we do some quick maths, $45 divided by the 110 that it takes to enter, you're getting a 40% APR in Bitcoin every single year. That is a very good investment. Now, of course, there's some variables here, right? It's like, well, are they going to get up there? Well, look, we launched with 4. We're now going to 8 next month. It's going to be a gradual process, but yes, I have full confidence in this team. They've got some big investors that are coming in apparently, so I'm really excited to see what happens with the floor action. They're running like lotteries and all that kind of stuff to really kind of start bringing in a lot more eyes into this project. So I think this is very realistic. Now, again, this is 100 miners, but what happens if we hit that 400 miners mark? Again, that's really what their end goal is. So now if we come back to this and we look at $45 a pair, right? Well, when we times that by 4, again, 100 miners is this scenario. Now we have 400 miners. That's $45 times 4. That is, what is that? $180 per pair. And again, the pair entry price right now is $110. That basically means we're getting, 180 divided by 110. We're getting over 160% APR on your investments right now. Now, again, there's some variables here, right? Are we going to scale up to the 100 miners? From there, how long will it take to hit the 400 miners? Now, the other factor that I haven't even talked about is that this is on a $25,000 Bitcoin. All these numbers here that I ran was on a $25,000 Bitcoin. What happens if Bitcoin goes to 100,000, right? Now we take this and we multiply this by 4 again. So it just keeps going up, keeps going up. We're at a $100,000 Bitcoin. We're going to be getting something stupid like $800 per pair, when right now you can buy a pair for $110. That is why I personally have been sweeping this floor. I think this is an insanely underrated project. For anyone who's looking at diversifying their investments a little bit, you could throw a couple $100s into this and it could literally be paying you thousands of dollars every single year in Bitcoin from the mining rewards. So I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope I did a good enough job kind of breaking down these numbers. Hope you didn't get too lost with any of this stuff, but this really shows the potential in this project and why I'm so freaking bullish on it. And as you can see here by the shirt that I'm wearing, I'm a big supporter. So guys, again, links are going to be down below in this video. If this is a project that you're interested in, jump in the Discord, learn a little bit more about it. You can sweep up a couple of these NFTs for a very, very low investment price for the potential of massive, massive Bitcoin rewards in the hopefully not too distant future. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, subscribe, comment below what your thoughts on this. If you're going out and sweeping the floor, let us know in the comments below. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.